Is it more important to be a good author or a good marketer? Hi, this is Carma Spence, the Own Your Awesome Mentor. And in today's third and final installment in my series of videos featuring the interview with author Carew Papritz, he answers the question, which is more important, being a good author or being a good marketer? Along with a few other questions. Let's get right to it. So today, the average book does not sell more than 200 copies. Why do you think that is?
Oh gosh, when I heard that statistic, I was like, really? 200 copies? I think we're inflating that. One of the things when I go on these book tours and talk to folks and they say, I published a book too. And so immediately I know it's Amazon and all this. And I said, so let me guess, you've sold 56 copies. I sold 57. How did you know? And I go, well, if I think you're like this normal person that has this amount of family members and this amount of friends, and you have a couple other friends, and you can convince these people, that's about 50 people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where independent publishing versus self-publishing is the drawing line. And I'm very adamant about telling people because self-publishing still has this bit of stigma to it. And I say, look, if you're trying to make a full-time go of marketing your book, you are an independent publisher. There's independent record labels, there's independent, there's all these independent things. Why does it have to be, you couldn't find an agent? I could have found an agent, not a problem. I could have got somebody to publish my book and maybe put out 1,000 copies. But that's not what I wanted because I know in this day and age, you put out 1,000, they own the rights and it's gone.
Right.
So that's the reason is because of this platform, because people just go, all I have to do is write a book and then it's going to be discovered. And I say, guys, again, it's the first part of the marathon. Right. And usually what happens is Jack Canfield used to call it the calm after the storm, where you release your book and then nothing happens. Mm-hmm. And it's dreadful. It is just earth-shattering. And I didn't experience it to that degree, but I experienced it enough. I was like, really, this is horrific. So I try to make sure that when people are doing their books, I go, guys, you need some follow-up time. I'm going to be very gentle. I'm one of you. So let me help you at least when you bring this book out. I'm going, and please, it's so amazing. I say, write me. I will help you. I'm free. I'm not even paying for it. I will help you. And virtually nobody takes advantage of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you've experienced this. I've written 4 books. One was by a boutique publisher. The rest were self-published, independently published.
Yeah, independently, good.
And what I found is the first book I wrote actually did fairly well. It was back when Lulu charged you $99 for an ISBN number. And I made that money back with next to no marketing within 6 months. But it was about bundt cakes.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I love that.
So it was like bundt cakes are really popular.
Yeah.
So I come out with my second book, Your Perfect Pie, and I love that book. It's a much better quality book.
Yeah.
Almost no one buys it.
And why?
And I'm guessing it has something to do with either the cover or the title or... And it's funny how you put your love and your life into a book, and the ones that you think you did great on don't sell so well. But the ones you're like, they sell well.
Yeah, isn't that funny about that? Yeah, and even in the case of that, you could actually, because you own the rights to it, you could restrip it, retitle it. I mean, you could literally put it out.
I intend to do that, definitely, because I believe in that book. I do.
Yeah, all the time I did one marketing deal, and I really put myself on a limb. I said, okay, we got a small group here of 10 or so. I said, tell me your book, and I will tell you in 1 minute the best way you can market it. I came up with all these wild ideas, and they were like, oh my gosh. And I go, yeah, I don't know why this brain works that way. Maybe it's because of the whole showmanship and of film industry and all that. There's something probably there. I just love to help people.
You're the P.T. Barnum.
Oh, that's not a bad thing.
No, it's not. I mean,
can I meet Hemingway and P.T. Barnum together?
Where Hemingway meets P.T. Barnum.
Oh, God. Let's bring that out. Put that as a tagline, okay?
Sounds good. The Cowboy Philosopher, who's part Hemingway and part P.T. Barnum.
Oh, man, I'm sold.
That's awesome. So, is it more important to be a good marketer than a good author?
Ooh. So I'm biased. I think you have to write a good book first, just like you did. You have to believe in it. There are people who can write these, write your book in 2 weeks and market it, and they get away with it. But the majority of us actually have to write. We have to craft we have to say words that matter, because when you pick up that book and someone reads it, they're going to know whether you're in command of them. There's that strange trust when you read a book, right?
Mhm.
You're opening yourself up and you're letting yourself fall into that author's hands. Now, what are you going to do with me?
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think there's something, you have a responsibility to take care of that person's psyche and soul as you're going on this journey. You want to give them the most incredible journey imaginable. Otherwise, why even do it?
I agree. And
Yeah.
I especially agree because I review a lot of books. And so when I first started reviewing books, I got a lot of self-published books,
Mhm.
which were, some of them were great ideas, inexpertly
Written.
implemented. And I think if you write a good book, it's easier to market because once people read it, word of mouth happens. And the word of mouth is good. Whereas some of the books I've read recently, you could tell it was a great idea. They kind of
Mhm.
half butted it.
Yeah.
It's like if you just got a book editor,
Oh,
you
I mean,
know?
no, that's a basic, isn't it? You
Yeah.
have to. I mean, guys, these are words. I mean, seriously, you can't have misspellings. You can't have your grammar. You
And the
really have to learn the
organization.
craft. Yeah.
Exactly. Organization. I think if you can make a book that's
Mm,
worthy of reading,
right.
then it's easier to market because it starts becoming almost viral in its ability to market itself
I think
to
so,
some degree.
to some degree, and especially for nonfiction books.
Yes.
You have a much, much easier hook. So, what's so strange about the legacy letters is, it's the first book in publishing history to win awards in both fiction and nonfiction. And I see why. Because it's not a story narrative and it was not purposely set up that way. And when you read it, you know everything that happens in the book up front. So there's no plot arc that's going on. It's like,
Hmm.
well, why are you telling me this all? Well, it's because I want you to experience the unfolding of the knowledge as he's learning it also.
Right.
And then the whole life lessons thing in the nonfiction. So it's taken quite a bit to figure out the nonfiction hooks on it. And once I did that, it's like, wow, I can really sell this sucker. But for people who just have fiction books, it's a lot more difficult. And
Exactly.
that's why I think having genre books is, at that point, I'd say, well, it's best to have a series.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially in the speculative fiction ones. Definitely. So, last question I got here.
All right, shoot.
What's the biggest pro tip you can give to authors to sell books or get them on store shelves?
Oh, pro tip. I would have to say, I can be a little bit literary at the moment and say, for those of you that are familiar with Flaubert, the famous French writer, he had a saying that said, talent is persistence.
Mm.
That's it, guys. There's no secret to this game except you're going to outlast everyone else in your persistence to get it to these places. And if you're going to go independently, realize there's a lot of great joys in doing it. But if you want to, and there's some people that can make it, but if you got an agent and they can sell it and they can put your name on the map, go for it. I mean, it's not a cop out at that point. Or if you can do hybrid of some sort. I mean, that's coming out. But if you're able to create an amazing platform and then come out with your book, then your book becomes your business card, right?
Exactly. And
That's
even
not
if you do get an agent and a publisher, you still have to market your book.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I tell everyone that. They go, what do you mean? I go, those days of those pay for all, even in mid-list authors,
Hmm.
it's not the same. You really have to come in, both guns a-blazing. So yeah, I lament that because there's a lot of good writing out there that falls by the wayside because you have to be sort of half Kim Kardashian and, half Bear Salinger. I really wanted this thing to be like it was discovered by this cowboy in a ranch and all that. It was out in the high lonesome and the Walden Pond of this modern era, and I can sell it to that degree. But you know what? It's not gonna. It just doesn't rise above that. You've got to hustle. It's hustle, persistence.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Now, is there anything I haven't asked you that you want to share?
yeah. And it's a pitch. So the pitch is, guys. It's a good old fashioned pitch here, but I would like all of you that are interested in seeing all the various ways I've marketed myself to go to the website, thelegacyletters.com, and you will see how many ways I have twisted my brain around how to keep my words alive. I just consider them sacred and they're great words and it's an evergreen book. And just because there's a date on it is ridiculous in this industry because for especially this type of book, I have done almost 180 interviews in 3 years on TV, radio, blogs, newspaper. So it's over one a week. So that's keeping it alive. The videos, the tours. When I meet people, here's a business card, goes in their hand. I pitch it. I'm always a nice guy about it, but I never go anywhere without a book. If I fly, I have the 2 books in my bag, one to give away if I think it's worthwhile. I always make sure someone reviews the book. Please review. It's bread and butter for authors on Amazon, on Goodreads, on whatever. Please, please, please. I beg and beg and beg. And one out of every 20 people does it. I want to bonk them all in the head. Guys, do simple. Say 3 words. I love the book. No, wait, I guess more, but you know. But yeah. So there's all these things, and just persistence, persistence, persistence. Just never give up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge.
Thank you, Karma. It's really a pleasure.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this series of interviews. Next week, it looks like I've got another series of interviews with other people. Ooh, more guests. This is Carma Spence, the Own Your Awesome Mentor. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube and comment below. I want the Weekday Wisdom to be something that you value and look forward to watching. So please submit your questions. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you next week.